Alright. So, let's see. How old are you?
I am 24.
24. Alright, and what kind of needs do you have that home plate has kind of reached out and fulfilled, or
How long have you been in Oregon?
Most of my life actually. I was in Wisconsin for about a couple of years. And then I moved back. I stayed with my aunt for a little while.
And did you go to high school here?
Yes, I did. Actually, I went up in Oregon City.
Oregon City, alright.
And were you living as a homeless teen when you were in high school?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was with my family at that time.
And
if you don't mind me asking, how did you come to be homeless?
For one, not being able to find a job.
Okay.
I have had have no experience with any jobs really, and most jobs nowadays require an education. I wasn't able to finish my last year of high school, so that's another reason why.
And so you're just kind of waiting to find a job. Let's see what else. Do you still have family in town? You can visit, or friends in town?
My brother's in Beaverton. He's at I guess you could say something like a shelter. I guess help find a job.
Transitional living program.
Yeah.
so, like, the search for housing, where have you been living nowadays?
Basically with friends.
Friends, yeah.
Whenever I can.
And have you tried to get a job before, like at McDonald's, or
I've been trying
to
McDonald's, KFC, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just basically anywhere I can.
And
I know we talked about in our school some of the obstacles that like getting a job is not as easy as it seems, because you need all the documentation and all these different they need like background checks and all these different phone numbers and stuff that you need but you don't have because you need money to get a phone. It's kind of like this never-ending circle. How do you think have you run into similar problems where they ask you for something that a phone number and you don't have it, or you don't have access to a social security number like that? Have there been obstacles in your way from getting a job similar to just lack of documentation?
Yeah, there's been some issues with phones. Also with apparently a lot of places nowadays like to direct deposit checks so they don't get stolen in the mail or something, which is understandable. So you need a bank account. If you don't have money for that, basically don't get a job.
It's a terrible cycle. It's just kind of
how many times you just hear, oh, why don't you just get a job? Isn't that just...
It's not that.
I've heard that quite often.
Really? Really?
It's
why don't you get a job? It's I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain to people all the loops you have to go through.
Because most people have an education or some experience that they can put on a resume or something. Because they did a certain amount of work during high school or something through a special program, or they had family hookups or something.
Yeah, totally.
If you don't mind us asking, what happened the last year of high school? Was it just difficult to stay in school?
No, actually, I had wanted to go to Reynolds High School in Gresham.
Oh yeah, I have.
But my parents didn't enroll me in my last year of high school. I had kept on asking them to enroll me, because at the time I had been going up to Oregon City from Gresham, so I had to get up at 5 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd have to catch either the 20 downtown or the Max, and then catch the 33 from there. So I'd get there usually around about 7:30, sometimes before the last bell rang.
Wow.
So it depended on traffic and lights and all that.
And I can tell, like, you valued your education. Like, you're willing to wake up early every day to go down to get an education.
I had a lot of nice teachers and a lot of friends in the Oregon City High School, but like the last year, like most of the teachers that I liked were relocating or something, so I just figured I'd relocate to a school closer. So I would have to get to know new teachers anyway, so go somewhere closer. You know?
Is that when you came down here? That during that year, or?
No, I was still up in Gresham actually.
Okay.
I just wasn't in school at the time.
I see.
So, because they could enroll you into Reynolds.
They didn't enroll me in time, so.
Was it a problem of like not being able to afford it, or I mean, why?
No, it's just I guess they said they had enough time, and they kept saying they had enough time.
Right.
And then, boom, registration day is done and gone.
Like, do you have to be like a certain age to enroll? Like, you can't do the next year, or they're kind of strict about
you have
that?
to be like 18 years old to register yourself in school.
Huh.
Okay.
But when I turned 18, I had a couple of kids at the time, so I was doing visitations.
Right.
So I was trying to find a place that would work around my schedule.
Right, right.
So that was kind of hard to do.
Do you want to elaborate a bit about like, personal life and personal connections? If you don't mind.
What?
Or maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of questions. Like how you got here.
Oh, that's pretty good, I
We
think.
could move on.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right.
One thing before, I think to clarify for home plate, a lot of like people who come, housing instability looks like a lot different, I think, for different people. Like in Portland, people are a lot of times sleeping outside, but then here in Hillsborough and Beaverton, people might be like couch surfing or sleeping at friends, or even staying in family members' houses, but just still has like an unstable living situation. And then some people that come to home plate are stably housed and just come for the support and just the place to hang out. So yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to
All over the place.
yeah, it's all over the place. And yeah, I think a lot of times people say like homelessness and like, oh, or like you're homeless, but and it has like a lot of like stigma attached to it. But yeah, people have it's not necessarily like what you would think.
When people think homeless, they usually think sleeping out on the streets or something.
Yeah.
They don't see like people couch surfing as homeless.
Yeah.
Usually most people classify homelessness as like not being like having your name on the lease of a place.
Yeah.
That could be considered homeless.
Mhm.
Others consider not having a roof over your head homeless.
Yeah.
It's ambiguous. Like it's all over the place. It's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to distinguish the
categorize.
line between homeless and having a place to go.
Yeah. And a home isn't just like a place, like it's not just a shelter. It's much more than that. It's a place where you can
Feel
just
safe.
and just have time to rejuvenate and kind of and you can feel comfortable there, yeah.
Like I know there are kids who could have like a structure, a stable structure as a home, like a nice home, but the like family environment inside can be kind of mean and abusive, but they just don't feel safe in their home. So just because the building is sound and it's in the name doesn't mean that it's their actual like place of comfort and safety.
And then also, there's people who have like a stable home, great family, and just I feel like everybody needs a sense of community, and so that's another thing that I think Home Plate is just tries to build community, give people a place to go, and bring the volunteers and youth and everybody together to just eat and hang out together.
So we can move on.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in Portland?
I've been in Oregon for almost a year.
Oh, cool. Where did you live before Oregon?
Most recent state before Oregon was Indiana.
Oh, interesting. Family there. But,
What attracted you to Oregon?
I was living with my mother at the time, and we moved out here because she decided to date his uncle.
Oh, wow. It's a small world.
Yeah.
So how old are you?
I am 21.
So, and where did you go to high school?
Meade County High School in Brandenburg, Kentucky.
How many states have you lived in?
Vermont, Kentucky, Alabama, Tennessee, Indiana, and now Oregon.
Would you say Oregon's your favorite? 'Cause I know the weather, when it's like in the south, it's kind of hot. Or I don't know, do you have a favorite?
I don't really have a favorite.
No.
I have yet to find that place I call home.
You're also kind of in the job search, trying to
Yeah.
find somewhere to work and gain stability.
Yeah. My mom moved back to Indiana, stayed behind, so I need to get on my own 2 feet, so kind of put myself in the situation, but I needed to at the same time.
So how many jobs have you applied for?
I've applied for several jobs.
Wow.
I got turned down for a dishwashing job at Old Chicago's. So it's like, how do you find a more applicable person to wash dishes?
I think it's more just that there's a bunch of applicants, and it's hard for them to really distinguish between like characters. Like they don't really know you. They just think, oh, we need 3.
It's
so
a piece of
let's choose the
paper.
first 3. You know, it's kind of like random. So it's good to keep trying. And
What can you infer from a piece of paper? I mean, really?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone could lie on an application, you know. They could have a friend be their employer or something, you know. Just have someone